You know that feeling, right? You ask someone a perfectly reasonable question, maybe a simple why, and what you get back is, well, nothing. A wall of silence. It can be absolutely infuriating. Today, we're going to dive deep into the fascinating psychology behind why some people just refuse to explain themselves.
Seriously, what is going on there? It's a question that can really leave you scratching your head. You ask why they did something, and you get a shrug or a one-word answer or just that quiet. And you're left standing there thinking, what's going on in their head? Was it something I said? Or is this all about them?
And our brains, they just love to fill in the blanks, don't they? We immediately jump to conclusions. They must be arrogant, we think. They think they're too good to explain. Or we go the other way. Oh, they're just insecure. They can't handle being questioned. And of course, there's the classic, they're definitely hiding something. But what if? What if all of those assumptions are completely missing the point?
Well, this brings us to a really core idea that's going to help us make sense of this. We're calling it the validation question. And this is where we kind of flip the whole script on this behavior. Because maybe it's not about what they're hiding from us, but about what they simply don't need from us.
And here it is. This is the simple but powerful idea that changes everything. See, a lot of us are fundamentally wired to seek approval. We want people to understand us, to agree with us. But some people, they just aren't. It's like they're running on a completely different operating system.
So if they're not looking to the outside world for a thumbs up, where are they looking? Well, that brings us to this concept of the internal compass. And let's be clear, this isn't about arrogance. It's a really deep psychological framework that guides them from the inside out.
Okay, so the first piece of this puzzle has a bit of a technical name, internal self-verification. I know, it sounds a little academic, but the idea is actually super simple. For these folks, the one and only judge that matters is themselves. They have a really clear picture of who they are, and every action they take is measured against that internal standard, not against what you or I or anyone else might think.
You can actually picture it like a little 3-step checklist that's running in their head. Step 1, I know who I am. Check. Step 2, does this thing I just did line up with who I am? Check. And step 3, this is the kicker. Yep, no outside opinion needed. The case is closed.
Now, you can only really operate like that if you have the second key ingredient, which is identity stability. Their sense of self isn't built on, shifting sand. It's solid. It's like an anchor. So when someone questions them or disagrees with them, it doesn't cause their whole identity to wobble. It's just feedback.
So you take that internal checking system and you combine it with that rock-solid identity, and what do you get? You get what's called low external dependency. It just means you don't need other people to constantly co-sign your choices. Is praise nice? Sure. Who doesn't like it? But it isn't a need. And if people disagree, that's just information. It's not a crisis.
What this all means is that this internal compass creates two fundamentally different ways of navigating the world. It's like a fork in the road. You're either on the path of looking outward for your answers, or you're on the path of looking inward.
And this chart just lays it out so clearly. You've got your explanation-seeking person. Their motive, external validation. Their focus, what other people think of them. But then you have the self-confirming person. Their motive is totally different. It's internal consistency. And their focus isn't on perception. It's on their own conviction. They're playing a completely different game.
Okay, let's bring all this home. This leads us to our final and I think most powerful way of reframing this whole thing. We're going to start seeing that silence not as a refusal, but as a statement. This is what we can call the power of silence.
So here's the absolute crucial point. When we run into that wall of silence, our gut reaction is to see a deficit. We see weakness or a lack of confidence or an inability to communicate. But based on everything we've just talked about, that interpretation is completely backward.
That silence isn't an empty space where an explanation should be. No, it's actually filled with something else entirely, internal certainty. For them, the debate is already over. The decision has been weighed and approved by the only court that matters, the one in their own head. So explaining it to you would feel, to them, totally redundant.
So, what's the big takeaway here? I mean, it's easy to get frustrated and judge people who operate on a different wavelength, but maybe the real challenge is to just turn that lens back on ourselves. The next time you make a choice, big or small, just take a second and ask, whose approval is really guiding me? Is it the people around me, or is it my own internal compass?